Welcome to your latest Nottingham Forest news. Coming up in today's video, Mangala admits he wants to leave. Tsimikas has been linked on a rumour to Nottingham Forest. Sheffield want Joe Worrall next season, and has Morgan Gibbs-White been speaking to Spurs? This and plenty more coming up on your news today. Let's get into it. Good morning, good evening, or good night. Hope you guys are doing well, and welcome to your latest Forest news. Please don't forget to hit that like button. Make sure you're subscribed as we are slowly implementing our changes. Let me know if you like that style intro or not, and we'll keep it coming for you. But before we jump straight into the Mangala story, don't forget to go get your tickets for this beauty from Football Prizes signed framed Forest shirt by the whole squad. And if you hit ticket number 40, insta win of Murillo. And let's talk about Mangala. Mangala has recently been interviewed, and he came out in a quote with Foot Mercato. I don't know if it's probably Mercato. It's French. And he had said, "I feel good here. Even if a few physical problems prevented me from continuing, I am happy with my season and the confidence that was placed in me. The purchase option, I hope it will be activated," he says, and he wants to stay with Lyon. So, Ant Crypto, sorry mate, but it looks like Mangala wants to stay. And usually that's not enough, but when a player starts to make their hints publicly that he wants to stay at his club, usually a deal can be done. Now let's just remind you of the history of this deal. Mangala went out on loan in January for a fee reportedly to be 8 million. And the overall package will get close to 30 million. So Forest could potentially get up to 22 million in cash up front. Now remember, we paid about 12 million for Mangala a couple of years ago. So the profit return on this one would most likely go a long way to solving our PSR problems before we get to the 30th of June. As much as I rate Mangala, as much as I do agree with the likes of Crypto and Ant that we have missed him, I do think for the sake of solving this PSR problem, getting us over that 30th of June line, and then we can pull out Marinakis' wallet and spend, I don't think it's a bad deal. Now, he has suffered from a few injuries at his time at Lyon, and recently has scored a goal for the winner for Lyon, and he's looking like he's settling in there quite nicely. And obviously language would be his first language there, etc., French speaking and so on. So it looks like it's a deal that can be done, especially with the option to buy. But the question is, will Lyon come back to negotiate if we assume they do want him as well on that price, a bit like Forest did with Renan Lodi last year, when they had the option to buy him but tried to negotiate him down, and they couldn't end up with a deal with Atletico Madrid. But what are your thoughts on Mangala? Do you want to see him leave? Do you understand why he would need to leave? Or would you say screw PSR and let's keep this good player and bring him back to the City ground? Let me know in the comments down below. So from players going out, let's jump to players coming in, and Tsimikas has been linked with Nottingham Forest. The Liverpool fullback, who recently signed a new contract with them up until the end of 2027, or the summer of 2027, looks like he's wanting a move away from there. With Klopp going, with him only having played 48 games since they signed him a few years back, he's ready to make the move. And why are these rumours starting? Because obviously he's Greek, and oh yeah, we have a Greek owner, and he used to play for Olympiacos. However, his valuation in the market currently is around 18 million euros, which is about 16 million pounds. There's no way in hell he's worth anywhere near that. And if he was going to leave, it would need to be on a cut price deal, with the player pushing for it to get himself some regular first team football. These rumours have started because he wants to remain in the Premier League, and he thinks, or the rumours should I say think, that a move to Forest would suit him down to the ground. Now for me, I'll be honest with you guys, I'm not that impressed with him. He's already 28. If Forest were to even get a good deal on him, you'd be looking probably at about 12 million pounds, maybe with some add-ons. And I think that money could be spent better elsewhere, because I think Einar has been absolutely fine when he's been able to stay fit. You got Tuffalo as backup. Yes, we'll be getting rid of Tavares, but let's not forget Omar Richards is still a Forest player, and he has grown his leg back, and he has been playing a few games for Olympiacos as well on his loan move there. So potentially we have a new player coming anyway, with Omar Richards coming back to Forest. So do we really need a third or fourth left back? I honestly feel this one is more rumoursville because he's Greek and because of the connections than anything else. So I'm not going to give this one too much credence, and mainly, as I said, because it doesn't make too much sense for me. But what does make sense for me is the next item on the agenda, and that is Joe Worrall leaving after he's going to be coming back. We told you last week that Joe Worrall was not going to continue on at his time in Turkey. They refused the option to buy, so they're sending him packing back to Nottingham. And Forest and Nuno, should I say, are still looking to make a major cull this summer. And Joe Worrall is on the bomb squad and is very likely to be leaving us. Now, there's been interest shown from a few championship clubs, but very recently Sheffield have now come out as a strong candidate for this move, with Sheffield not being a million miles away from Nottingham Forest, with them trying to rebuild that team, that disaster team, that team that joined Club 100 courtesy of our good selves. This move makes sense to me. It probably will cost them a couple of million. No doubt Joe Worrall's price has dropped slightly, but remember, he signed a new 2.5-year deal extension not too long ago, which protects us on getting a fee for him. So I expect this one would be a move that Joe Worrall would be interested, or maybe one of the other championship clubs who think they have a chance of promotion. And joking aside, I think Joe Worrall would do very well there because he was brilliant for us in our promotion season. So if he goes, the other benefit to Nottingham Forest is he is homegrown. So every single penny that we get for him will, of course, go to the PSR bottom line as pure profit. Now, my one concern about Sheffield is they are a bunch of thieves. So if they were to offer, say, 4 million for Joe Worrall, and we agree with it, what guarantee do we have that those thieving scums will actually pay us when we've seen them dock 2 points as they go into the championship for stealing? What do you guys think though? Does this sound like a good move to you or not? Let me know in the comments down below. Before we go on to the Morgan Gibbs-White story, a massive congratulations to Murillo, who won Player of the Season for Nottingham Forest. What an acquisition he has been for us, the way he's hit the ground running in the Premier League. I hope and I pray he's still in the Garibaldi when it comes to August this year. But he was contested by Morgan Gibbs-White, and that's the story we're moving on to. As I said to you the other day, Morgan Gibbs-White and Murillo are no doubt going to make a lot of headlines this summer. And there have been rumours circulating that Morgan Gibbs-White or his people have been in talks with Tottenham for a move to London. And I just don't like this. I get that these talks happen. You always expect them to happen before transfer windows open. It makes you question what is the point in a transfer window. But it's going to be very hard for Nottingham Forest to hold on to him or Murillo or both, or even one or the other. Now, the rumours are from Forest that they are slapping a 70 million price tag on Morgan's head. And Spurs are keen and interested. I mean, I am sick of Spurs buying Forest players. Go back as far as you want. You know, Andy Reid, Dawson, Brennan Johnson recently. They just seem to love coming after our players, and it's doing my head in. And Morgan is another one on their hit list. And you'd have to question, well, where would he fit in at Tottenham? With Maddison there, chosen number 10 currently. Yes, he's been out of form in recent weeks and picked up a few injuries. Could Morgan see himself in a position that Brennan Johnson found himself in and out the team before he was able to establish himself as a starter? Is Morgan Gibbs-White up for that kind of competition? Does he prefer where he is now, being the main man at Nottingham Forest, the fans adoring him, or is he willing to go to Spurs and try and win over the fan base and try and secure his place going heads up against Maddison in that position? This one's going to rumble on. There's going to be more links to Morgan, I'll tell you now, from the likes of Newcastle, maybe Villa, we've seen West Ham before, etc. There's going to be a lot of teams. But this Spurs one just isn't going away and keeps coming and coming time and time again. And it is starting to worry me a little. Would you sell Morgan? Let me know what your price tag would be and how much do you think he's currently worth in this current market and this climate. And that, ladies and gents, brings you up to date with your latest Nottingham Forest news. Please don't forget, if you haven't already, hit that like button. Subscribe to Forest Fan TV if you are new. And we'll see you for the watch along, because let's not forget, there's a game today. We'll be live at about 3:40 today. And hopefully Forest can officially confirm we are on the beach. We'll see you then. Come on, you Reds.